I found myself deeply in love with the man of my dreams. Finally, we were becoming the married couple I had always envisioned. Our wedding ceremony, a culmination of my fondest dreams, was adorned with blessings from many. I imagined my parents in heaven rejoicing. Little did I know that tragedy lurked ahead. Their betrayal shattered everything, and I knew I could never forgive them for what they had done. I'm Lily Michael. My boyfriend, who was 2 years my senior, proposed to me, and at 27, we tied the knot. I lost my father in my youth, and my mother succumbed to illness 2 years ago. Through it all, Michael has been my unwavering support, lifting me in my darkest hours. Our wedding, on the anniversary of our 2.5-year relationship, marked the start of our joyous journey as newlyweds. With Michael's demanding job, we postponed the ceremony until he had days off. We visited the venue, laying the groundwork for our special day. With the date set, it was time to compile our guest list. I was blessed with Elizabeth and John, who embraced me as their daughter. After losing my father, they stepped in, showering me with cooked meals in place of my busy, working mother. Their presence filled the void when she was away, ensuring I never felt alone. When illness struck my mother, they shouldered her responsibilities, sparing me the weight of it all. Even in the darkest moments, Elizabeth's gentle reassurances lifted my spirits, urging me to hope for my mother's recovery. With their unwavering support, I found the strength to weather any storm. That's why, when planning my wedding, I insisted they occupy seats reserved for family. Eager to convey my gratitude, I made a long overdue visit to their home. Lily, congratulations on your marriage, Elizabeth greeted me, tears glistening in her eyes. Thank you, Elizabeth, I replied. I've been thinking, I want you and John to be. Would it be all right for you and John to sit in the seats reserved for family at my wedding? I asked, my voice hopeful. Of course, she replied warmly, her eyes shining affectionately. She then reached for a large box. Lily, why don't you open this? Curious, I obliged, lifting the lid to reveal a stunning white wedding dress nestled inside. Crafted from exquisite silk, it exuded elegance with a touch of charm. Delicate lace adorned the neckline while intricate flower embroideries danced along the hem. It was evident that this dress was tailored just for me. Instantly enamored, I gasped in delight. Why the dress? I inquired, my voice trembling with emotion. Well, your mother, my sister, she made it, my Elizabeth explained softly. What? Mom made this? I exclaimed, disbelief coloring my voice. Despite her illness, she poured her heart into every stitch, envisioning this day for you. She asked me to give it to you if you ever got married. The dress embodies all the love she holds in her final days. Lily, you must wear it at your wedding. It would mean the world to her, my Elizabeth said, her eyes shimmering with tears and affectionate pride. Touched by her gesture, tears welled up in my eyes. Thank you, Elizabeth. Holding on to this means everything to me. I'll cherish it, I promise, I said, clutching my mother's handcrafted wedding dress tightly, my heart burning with happiness. Upon returning home, I reverently hung the dress on my bedroom wall. Its presence was a comforting reminder of my mother's love. Determined to honor her at my wedding, I envisioned the day with renewed determination. But fate had other plans. Disaster struck one evening. When I returned home from work, I found the dress missing from its rightful place on my wall. Shocked and bewildered, I frantically searched the room, my heart sinking as reality set in. How could this happen? It was right here, I whispered, the weight of loss settling heavily upon me. In a panic, I reached for my phone to call the police. Just then, my husband walked through the door. Lily, what's wrong? He asked, concern etched on his face as he hurried to my side. My dress, it's gone. I had it right here, I sobbed, gesturing to the space on the wall. My distress seemed to startle my husband, and his response caught me off guard. Oh, is that all? He remarked casually, prompting me to question him further. What do you mean, Michael? Do you know something? I asked, my voice trembling with uncertainty. His revelation left me stunned. Well, yes. My sister mentioned she needed a dress for her upcoming wedding and wanted to borrow it, he confessed. I gasped incredulously, realizing he had lent me my precious wedding dress without consulting me. It dawned on me then that she had used the spare key from our mailbox to retrieve it. He had handed my dress over to his sister without consulting me. I was beyond disbelief, my anger boiling over as I confronted him. "How could you do this?" I demanded, my voice trembling with fury. His calm response only fueled my frustration. "Our wedding is still months away, so what's the harm?" he reasoned, as if it were inconsequential. And my sister was ecstatic. "She's tight on funds and saw it as a saving grace." "A saving grace? I never authorized any of this," I shot back, seething at his lack of consideration. "That dress was a labor of love from my mother, made specifically for me. Did you forget, Michael? It's tailored to perfection. How could you lend it out without my consent?" His attempt to soothe me only infuriated me further. "Relax, it's not like it's a one-time use item. You'll still get to wear it, so what's the problem?" he insisted. "The problem is crystal clear. Why should your sister wear my dress before me? It's just plain wrong, no matter how you spin it," I said, trying to convey my frustration. Despite my efforts, my husband remained obstinate, refusing to apologize or acknowledge his error. His dismissive attitude only fueled my anger further. "Lily, you're overreacting. It would help if you stopped acting like a spoiled child," he retorted, his words stinging with rebuke. "Spoiled? How can you say that? This dress holds sentimental value. My mother made it for me. It's nonsensical for your sister to wear it before me," I sighed, exasperated by his callousness. His indifference pushed me to my breaking point. "I'm going to your parents' house tomorrow to retrieve the dress," I declared firmly. "Tomorrow? But that's when my sister's fiancé and his parents are visiting," he interjected. "Your parents' house, and you think I should just sit back and let them decide?" I snapped incredulously. "Let me be clear. Regardless of anyone's opinion, I refuse to allow your sister to wear that dress." The following day, I took a break from work to confront my sister-in-law. Upon reaching my in-laws' home, the lively chatter from within greeted me as I approached the open front door. Stealthily entering, I overheard unfamiliar voices engaged in conversation. "You made this dress yourself? That's incredible, Grace," a man's voice praised, referring to my sister-in-law. "Oh, it was nothing," Grace modestly deflected the compliment, proudly showcasing my mother's meticulously crafted wedding dress. Seeing her display the dress, my emotions surged. "Grace," I called out, my voice firm and unwavering. She turned, surprise flashing across her face. "Lily, what are you doing here?" she asked, caught off guard. "I'm here to take back my dress," I stated, stepping forward with determination. "My mother made this dress for me, which holds immense sentimental value. You had no right to take it without asking." Grace's face fell, and the room grew silent. "I didn't realize how much it meant to you," she said softly, handing the dress back to me. Taking the dress in my hands, I felt relief wash over me. "Thank you," I said, my voice softening. "This dress is more than just a piece of clothing to me. It's a symbol of my mother's love and craftsmanship." With that, I left the house, holding the dress close to my heart, determined to honor my mother's memory on my wedding day. As I listened, my heart was heavy with anger, and I felt a surge of emotions. The claim of creating her dream dress struck a nerve. That dress symbolized my mother's love, crafted expressly for me. Without realizing it, I was drawn towards them, propelled by anger and hurt. Storming through the entrance, I snatched the wedding dress from my sister-in-law's grasp and declared, "This belongs to me," in front of the astonished onlookers. All eyes turned towards me except my sister-in-law, who paled at my assertiveness. "Grace, is this true?" her fiancé questioned, prompting her to offer a feeble defense. "No, it's not what you think. I did make it myself," she claimed. Realizing the conversation's deceitfulness, I turned my attention back to Grace. "Why don't you try it on then? My mother tailored it to fit me perfectly." "It won't suit you," I pointed out. Evidently, the dress, designed for my petite stature, wouldn't flatter her taller, more athletic frame. "What's going on?" My husband's voice cut through the tension, finally making an appearance. My sister must have called him. He fumed, his face flushed with anger. Lily, what on earth are you doing? Are you trying to sabotage my sister's wedding? Sabotage? If anything, it's my wedding in jeopardy. I shot back at my husband, bracing myself for another outburst. Just stop. We called off our wedding, so hand over that dress to my sister, he demanded. My heart sank. What do you mean, called off our wedding? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. Michael, you can't be serious, I continued, my voice rising. This dress is not just a piece of fabric. It's a testament to my mother's love and hard work. How could you decide something so monumental without even consulting me? The room fell silent as everyone absorbed the gravity of the situation. I clutched the dress tighter, feeling the weight of my mother's love and the betrayal of those I thought I could trust. I refuse to give up this dress, I declared, trembling but resolute. It was made for me, and I will honor my mother's memory by wearing it on my wedding day. With that, I turned and left, my emotions a whirlwind of hurt, anger, and determination. As I walked away, I knew I had made the right choice. No matter what lay ahead, I would stand firm and fight for what was rightfully mine. He demanded what? Called off? I stammered in disbelief. That's correct. We called it off, he asserted firmly. My sister mentioned she's tight on funds, so we gave her the $50,000 we saved for our wedding. And since we're not getting married anymore, we don't need that dress, do we? You lent out my dress without asking, canceled our wedding, and gave away the $50,000 we saved? Have you lost your mind? The realization hit me like a ton of bricks. Our marriage held little importance to him. With a heavy heart, I fell silent, feeling my love for my husband wane. Canceling the wedding was one thing, but I wanted to cherish this dress forever, and now, because of these thoughtless actions. Just then, my sister-in-law's fiancé rose to his feet, his voice heavy with resignation. I guess that settles it, he said. Everyone was stunned. Wait, you can't be serious. You're calling off our engagement? My sister-in-law exclaimed, pleading. Her fiancé fixed her with a steely glare. Why, it's plain as day. I can't marry someone capable of such deceit without a second thought. It's out of the question, he declared. Even his parents mirrored his sentiments, their quiet anger evident. Well, that settles that. No more talk of marriage, her fiancé declared, ready to leave with his parents. But just as they were about to depart, my sister-in-law burst in, frantic and desperate. Hold on a minute. It's ridiculous to call off the engagement over something like this, isn't it, Mom? Dad? You disagree, do you? She pleaded. Despite her impassioned plea to her parents, it was too late. Why are you glaring at me, Mom? Dad? My sister-in-law's plea was brushed aside as her father erupted with force. You brought this upon yourself, Grace, he said sternly. You betrayed your future husband's trust and caused unnecessary pain to your brother's fiancé. This isn't something we can overlook. Grace's face crumbled as she realized the gravity of her actions. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she tried to salvage the situation, but the damage was done. Her fiancé and his parents left, their disappointment palpable. As I stood there, clutching my mother's dress, I felt a mix of retribution and sorrow. My relationship with Michael had been irrevocably damaged, but I knew I couldn't stay with someone who so blatantly disregarded my feelings and our future together. I can't believe you, Michael, I said quietly, my voice trembling. This dress was my mother's last gift to me, and you treated it like it was nothing. I'm sorry, Lily, he finally muttered, but the apology felt hollow. Sorry isn't enough, I replied, my resolve hardening. I need time to think about what this means for us. With that, I left, the weight of the wedding dress a comforting reminder of my mother's love and the strength I needed to move forward. As I walked away, I knew that whatever lay ahead, I dared to face it head on, honoring the memory of my mother and the love she had poured into that beautiful dress. Get out, you disgrace. His words struck like a blow, reducing my typically resilient sister-in-law to tears. How could you be so heartless? This is too much, she sobbed. Stop crying. I don't recognize you anymore, her father rebuked, his voice filled with disappointment. I can't accept someone who shows such disregard for others' feelings as my daughter, her mother added sternly. Witnessing his sister's distress, my husband stepped forward to intervene. "Mom, Dad, please calm down. There's no need to blame Grace like this. And you, Michael, how dare you overlook Lily's feelings? Leave this house with Grace," his father added, his tone unwavering. "You foolish son," his father's words rang out, stunning my husband into silence, his expression one of disbelief. Then, to my surprise, my mother-in-law approached me, bowing her head in apology. "I'm deeply sorry, Lily. We were misled to believe that our daughter had handmade the dress." "No, it's all right, but I can't continue living with Michael," I responded, my heart heavy with resolve. "That's understandable. Our daughter is at fault here. It would help if you moved forward without any concerns," she assured me. Her words struck a chord within me. Despite the turmoil, I could not shake the guilt of parting ways with my in-laws, who always treated me kindly. Nonetheless, staying with Michael was no longer an option. "Lily, I'm sorry. Truly, I am. We'll make things right and have a proper wedding. Please don't mention divorce," my husband pleaded, his tone shifting dramatically after his parents disowned him. But I couldn't fathom reconciling with a man devoid of spine. "I'm forging my path now. I can find happiness without you," I said firmly. His plea was brushed aside as I stood resolute in my decision. Witnessing my resolve, my husband sank to his knees in defeat. After bidding my in-laws a heartfelt farewell, I left their home, packed my belongings, and sought refuge at Elizabeth's house. Though initially surprised, she respected my decision and welcomed me with open arms. Elizabeth skillfully repaired the torn dress, restoring its former glory. With my mother's dress refurbished, I sought alimony from my ex-husband, and we finalized our divorce. Unbeknownst to me, he had been diverting our wedding funds to my sister-in-law, which resulted in a slightly higher settlement for me. Both my ex-husband and sister-in-law faced the consequences of their actions and were disowned by their parents, now residing together in our former home. Meanwhile, my sister-in-law, who had planned to be a homemaker, was jobless after quitting. Now, my ex-husband bore the sole responsibility of supporting them both. Reflecting on my experience, I resolved to be more discerning in choosing a partner if given another chance at marriage, ensuring a beautiful wedding while wearing my mother's cherished handmade dress. This story is a poignant tale of betrayal, resilience, and self-discovery. It encapsulates the deep emotional connections we have with family heirlooms and the irreplaceable value they hold. The wedding dress, crafted with love by Lily's mother, symbolizes not just a garment but a legacy of affection and dedication. Lily's journey reveals the stark contrast between genuine love and superficial relationships. Michael's actions, driven by a misguided loyalty to his sister, highlight a lack of respect and understanding for Lily's feelings. His willingness to sacrifice their wedding and financial stability for his sister's benefit demonstrates profound insensitivity and poor judgment. The story also explores the themes of integrity and consequence. Grace's deceit and the subsequent fallout illustrate how dishonesty can erode trust and dismantle relationships. Her fiancé's decision to call off the engagement underscores the importance of transparency and trustworthiness in any partnership. Lily's resilience in the face of betrayal is admirable. Despite the potential social and emotional fallout, her decision to part ways with Michael showcases her strength and self-respect. It emphasizes prioritizing one's well-being and values over maintaining a flawed relationship. The support from Lily's Elizabeth and the eventual repair of the wedding dress symbolizes healing and reclaiming her narrative. This act restores the dress and mends Lily's spirit, enabling her to move forward with dignity and hope. In conclusion, this story powerfully reminds us of the importance of honoring our loved ones' legacies, standing up for our values, and the necessity of integrity in our relationships. Lily's journey of self-discovery and empowerment is an inspiring example of navigating personal challenges with grace and determination.